Invincible is peak. Except when it isn't. If you're like the rest of the guys, aged between 14 and 25, you watch Invincible. And I don't blame you. This show has me putting my life on hold to watch a 1-hour gore freak show every Thursday. But there's one thing about the season 3 finale that messes me up. And it's all tied to my glorious dark-haired, orange suit-wearing king, Rex Splode. Holy glaze, this is one of the greatest written characters in the show. And from what I've heard from comic readers, it wasn't fully like this in the comic. There was still a redemption arc in there, but it wasn't the same without Shrink Ray and his romance creating a true start-to-end reason for his settling down and becoming a hero that is worthy of being called super.
Be careful!
Is it the brave man who survives? Or is it the one who waits? One thing left!
Mm-hmm. And what's that?
My entire goddamn skeleton!
When we first meet Rex, he is the antithesis of what a hero should be. He does things to act out against what he was born to do. These things include cheating on his then-girlfriend, Adam Eve. Also, side note, but can we talk about how Samantha is a terrible name for Eve? It's horrible. Who looked at her and thought, Samantha? Never mind. Who cheat on Adam Eve, Rex lies to duplicate, he doesn't get along with Invincible, and simple plot armor would suggest that because of that, he's a bad guy. Obviously not an irredeemable Mauler twins kind of way, but in a rival that will be overpowered and irrelevant by season 2. But does this happen? Not at all. Robert Kirkman, overseeing both the original comic run and the TV show run, did what any creative genius with full control for a second time would do. He refined what worked and tossed what didn't. He's able to emphasize the most powerful parts of his comic and get rid of those that aren't as compelling. Enter Shrinking Ray, a character that was supposed to be dead and gone, eaten by a Lizard League villain of the week, is now alive. And surprise, she got a sex change. With the addition of a love interest, it gives Rex a reason to change and something to live for, rather than himself. He wants to change to become a better person for her. He starts making sacrifices for her. He does this, he gets out of his comfort zone and does things that she likes, even though he doesn't. He helps her move, and moving is the worst thing ever, and he even supports her in trying to live a normal life, though it'll make it harder for him and strain their relationship. While helping Ray to move to her new normal home in the city, he must rush off to fight a battle that he knows he can't win. Then doubles down on this by allowing himself to go one-on-one with the strongest threat that the show viewers have seen. Saves the other Guardians of the Globe and allows them to get to a reasonable distance before going band for band with an Invincible variant, eventually sacrificing himself in the most graphic way possible. By defeating his once rival's variant that is the closest possible being to what he used to be, he solidifies his change as well as his position as a hero. But why didn't he just blow up the bridge? Shut up. We all have that friend who comes up to you after you've just started your new favorite anime and proceeds to tell you that your favorite character dies in the manga. Don't be that guy. If you debate in the comments, make sure to keep it comic spoiler free and only talk about stuff that's happened in the show. And while you're in the comments, go ahead and check out my Twitch, which is in my bio, where I talk about Invincible, video games, and play with you guys all the time. At Brody2WD. Now we get to talk about my least favorite character of all time. Robot or Rudy or whatever he wants to steal this time. This dude stole Rex's DNA, cloned a mindless version of him, and somehow we're supposed to act like that's fine. Bro is a villain. You are telling me this guy Robot, who looks like an overgrown baby that was drop-kicked by an NFL kicker, decided, because he is so down bad for a character that looks like she's 12 years old, his best choice was to clone his work buddy because she decided to flirt with him once. What? Last time I checked, you asked your buddy for advice on flirting, not become him. Also, let's not glaze over the fact that Monster Girl looks 12. Well, she is actually 24. Robot barely knows her. He didn't like her personality. He is a creep. I've had this feeling about Robot ever since I saw his smug beep-boop face in Season 1. With his genius mind and intellect, he couldn't make a friendly-looking robot with a smile. Instead, he chose to make it look like a skull with an alien brain. Regardless, Robot goes by Rudy now, and that was supposed to be an important thing about his character that we learned in Season 1 and built upon in Season 2. Though he was the same looking as Rex, besides being young, of course, he was something entirely different and new. Rudy was forgiven by Rex for doing what he did because of his traumatizing past and living situation that everyone can understand why you'd want to get out of that test tube. We finally see Rudy developing and learning how to cope with being a normal human, until Rex dies. After Rex dies, Robot gives a touching memorial that affects everyone there in their own little PNG ways. No. Besides Mark, you twisted freak.
Are you smiling?
His memorial is absolutely fine until the very end. After taking Rex's body and presumably his role as stand-in leader, Bro is going to take his name. Robot is a villain and taints his entire story progression, dragging Rex into it by taking his name. Now, instead of Rex being a martyr for the cause, Robot can perfectly assimilate with society by taking the identity of Rex Sloan. But what's next, Robot? His social security number? Maybe his family records? Okay, honestly, the last one would probably be useful for him since they share the same body. But you get the point. It's also so weird that Rudy says it would be weird to have himself up on stage at Rex's memorial because they look alike, but it's okay to take his name. Robot slanders the entire legacy of Rex, all while ruining his own character progression and individuality himself. I imagine he'll even be added to Fortnite before Rex. Epic, I'm begging you, please add my glorious Boom Boom Boy.
I'm sorry, I thought I lost you.
Wow, what a touching funeral. Sure puts me in the mood to slam your ex-girlfriend so she can get over you. When I first saw this scene, I was taken aback. Personally, if my wife's ex died, maybe I'd be smiling internally, or part of me would be happy. But actually smiling? Bro was in pain from like 4 different casts and barely alive, but he still couldn't hold back a smile. Those casts definitely didn't stop you from doing this, Mark. People will say, nah, bro, Rex and Mark are homies. Rex would have been fine with this. Really? If they were so close, shouldn't Mark be, I don't know, mourning? This is some twisted logic. If I die, just comment RIP or something. Don't immediately get to the yams to honor me. I get that this scene was supposed to tease some Adam-Eve story arc and her emotional state turning her clothes into a puddle for season 4, but there's better ways to do it. Maybe have her powers subtly affect the grass at the funeral instead, or at least put some time between the tragedy and the rebound. Instead, we get Mark looking like a selfish jerk who doesn't care about his friends and only cares about getting that Adamussy.
It was everything I wanted, and still...
The writers may or may not have created something great. I think what they were trying to do is have Ray have that sullen mistress vibe. But did nobody know about Ray and Rex's relationship? Did no one care enough about Rex to notice that he spent what were probably the last few months of his life entirely dedicated to this woman? With all this taken in, it almost makes Rex's backstory even more sad. He states to Ray that he was raised by scientists and knows nothing about his family other than they sold him off to the government. Already extremely sad and depressing, but showing that his best friend smiled at his funeral, his ex was getting blasted after, and his work buddies were okay with Robot taking his name makes it so much worse. We are dipping into Spider-Man levels of depression. No wonder it took someone like Ray to come into his life and to help him become a better person. He has all of the aspects of what a hero should have, but never had his Uncle Ben moment. Ray seemed to be the one that grounds him and creates that. I'm going to guess, since Ray was basically only there to be a good partner for Rex, and that she doesn't even exist in the comics, she will probably not be seen, besides the occasional guest appearance. But I think her addition to the story was probably the single best decision they made, willing or not. Not because she is a deep character with a great background, which from the glimpse of her background, she actually could become, but because she is a character that had depth, that didn't need depth. And that transferred over to Rex, with a reason to go forward with his metamorphosis from rival of the week to hero. The writers, in trying to do a cliche, changed the way that I see Rex forever. Going into season 3, I already knew a lot of what was coming. Thank you, TikTok spoilers. I think Kirkman knew that a lot of viewers were going to know what was going to happen due to impatience, normal curiosity, or just reading the comic way back then. He added these elements to make it interesting to the people who supported his comments and continue to support his TV show. And with season 4 supposed to have a TV original storyline with new characters, that'll create even less connection to the original comic stories. That can cause a lot of nervousness or boredom for comic readers, especially since it'll have less impact on the overarching comic story. They want to see their favorite fight from the comics animated.
I am so lonely. I am conquesting it.
Going back to these grassroots stories that aren't the end of the world, such as Rex's, creates a deep connection that ties viewers to characters in a different way and keeps it interesting. We see other superhero stories such as Your Friendly Neighborhood, Spider-Man, or Daredevil, protector of Hell's Kitchen. They are big fish in a little pond, but it creates relatability because these happen to be the favorites of the fans. If Kirkman learns what his fans are loving and keeps cooking like this, maybe, just maybe, we'll get another Rex Splode. Like, sub, follow Twitch. Love Jesus. Bye.